Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Happy New Year. I know you're wondering why Happy New Year. This is the first video of 2022 and I cannot be any more excited to have you here. If you're new here, this girl over here is called Sarah Ajambo and I will be happy to have you and listen on. So in today's video, we want to talk about renewing our mind for success. Please, let's get into it. The human mind is one of the most powerful organs in the body, because the human mind is the hub of innovation. It is where we birth ideas, it's where we make decisions, it's where the first action to any decision starts. And the mind can be an obstacle to progress, or it can help in your progress in life. Someone said that how your mind is exactly how your life is. So today we want to just look at how we can renew our minds for success. The reason why I'm talking about renewing our mind for success, for such a long time I have been feeling that I am stuck. I have been feeling that I am not moving forward. There is no growth in my life. There is no change. There is nothing exciting about my life. And I started to think about my life, to just call myself for a meeting, as many of us would say. And I found out that most of the things that I feel, or most of the things that I consider happening in my mind, have already happening in my life, have already taken place in my mind. The decisions I make, how I feel, how I do my things day to day, that's what has taken place in my mind. So I am going to just read a verse in Romans 12 verse 2 that says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing and perfect will." I wanted to start with this video so that we can have a theme even as we go into other videos during this year, which will set course for other videos. So God is concerned about the state of our mind. God is really concerned about the state of our mind. More often than not, whether we like it or not, the devil does not like our progress in life. And where he attacks most is our mind. Our mind, how the state of our mind is, our thought process, our thought closet. What do we think about in our day-to-day living? What do we focus? What do we strengthen in the mind? What do we think? And what do we perceive? Because what we think is what will be expressed in our lives. When your mind is changed, your life will be transformed. That's what is Romans 12 verse 2 says, that when our minds change, our lives are transformed. If you ask yourself, what has deterred you from doing some things you have desired in your heart? Most often than not, there are things that you have perceived in your mind. You have perceived fear, you have perceived failure, you have perceived defeat, and that's why sometimes you're not able to accomplish that which you have been called to do. You are not able to accomplish your purpose, yet that is what you have been created to come and do on earth, And then how our minds are wired, they are like computer programs. They are programmed. What we give our minds is what we will receive. What we project in life is what we have given our minds. It's how our minds have been programmed. When we are born, when all of us are born, our minds are clean, are new. We do not know anything, but the society, how we have grown up, our families have programmed our minds in a certain way, and our minds have been given a limitation. Who who defines limitation? Who defines limitation in your life? Because most often than not, we have limits in our mind, but we can defeat those limits if we really want to. So Philippians 4:8 says, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are lovely, are pure, these things, think of these things. So the Bible really tells us that we should think of things that are true, are lovely, and pure, things that are not limited, things that are beautiful. But we find that in life we choose to think of those things that are negative, those things that are ill, those things that are terrifying, that makes us afraid, that makes us hateful, more angry. But those are not the things that we have been told to do. So our success is really dependent on how we think. When we think we can do something, we can put our minds to do it. And therefore, if we change how we think, if we choose to change our neuropsychology, we can go far. So today I want to just state some of the things that I've been learning on how we can renew our minds for success. And this is not only success spiritually, this is success in life, success in your career, success in our finances, success in our businesses, because our mind is a major player in the success of all these things. Even in our family, what do we think about our family? What do we think about our businesses? What do we think about our education, our classwork? What do we think about our career? Some of us are afraid to apply for that job because you think you are not able to, you are not cut out for it. But what is that a limitation that is set in your mind? Because that's a limit to your success. So number one, let's change so that we can renew our minds. How can we renew our minds? Number one, change what we feed our minds with. The things that we meditate about eventually reflects in our lives. What is in your thought closet? What do you think on day to day? When we meditate on something, when we focus on something, it becomes permanent. When we focus on fear, it becomes permanent. It becomes to life. What we think, we give it life. So what you feed your mind with? What do you feed your mind with? What kind of books do you read? What kinds of shows do you look at? What kind of music do you listen to? Because it will form your mindset. So whatever you feed your mind with is what it will give out. Simply garbage in, garbage out. As what we have said, our minds are like computer programs. So whatever you program it to give is what it will give out. So change what you feed your mind with. Number two, confess what you believe, not what you feel. More often than not, what we feel is not what we want, what we aspire to become. Sometimes you feel lazy. That's not what you want. Sometimes you feel defeated. Sometimes you feel so down. And I'm not saying that those feelings are bad. What I'm saying is, let's confess the positive. Let's affirm ourselves. Affirm yourself that I can do it. That I can beat limitations that have been set. That there is nothing impossible, because I can be able to do anything that is set before me. God has already said that there is nothing impossible with Him, and He is our leader, our King, our Father. If that is so, then what is limiting you? So confess those good things. I have realized that whatever you confess is what your mind processes. At times, it is not what you feel like it, but it is. You need to go an extra mile and confess what you believe rather than what you feel. When we confess, we possess it. When we regularly confess on what you feel and see, you end up hurting your belief system. When you see, all we see in this world is defeat. All we see in this world is fear. All we see in this world is hopelessness. If we confess and see confess what we feel and see around us, more often than not, we are hurting our belief system. We believe that we are able. You believe that you can be able, and therefore confess that. Number 3, celebrate the process. Renewing of the mind happens when one celebrates small victories and focus on what God is doing instead of what He is not doing. Sometimes we really concentrate on things that God has not done. We concentrate on things that we have failed. We concentrate on things that we believe that we cannot do. That one makes us not to celebrate the small wins. The other day, a friend of mine told me she attended an anniversary of a company, and the CEO said they had a successful 5 years, but within those 5 years, they had never celebrated any anniversary. They were quick to do every project. They were quick to go through every year to do projects to satisfy clients, to satisfy their investors, but they did not take time and celebrate an anniversary. And most often than not, they did not know how far they have come or what they have done. Take a little time, pat yourself in the back and thank yourself for the things that you have accomplished. Thank God for the things. Celebrate those small wins. When you have applied a job and they reply and you get the first email, celebrate and look forward to the next one, rather than looking forward to not having another job. Or celebrate that you are alive. Celebrate the small wins that we think they are small. Things like completing a short course, that's a big thing. That's a big thing. So celebrate it. When we don't celebrate, we end up comparing, which leads to complaining. Complaining may end up to converting, which is breaking God's commandment. So if your neighbor, if you are at a point of comparing, and you see that the backyard or the lawn of your neighbor looks greener, then start watering yours and start giving thanks for the water that you are able to pour it on your lawn. So celebrate the small wins. The fourth one and the last one, surround yourself with people who have positive mindset. Most times we hear this phrase that you are a sum total of the people around you. Negativity takes and drains one's energy. When you surround yourself with negative people, they drain off your energy, they take off your positivity, they take off your energy. If all you hear is negativity, then that's the fruits you will produce. That's what you will produce, because your mind has already perceived negativity. So your perception will equal to your progress. Your mind is the mirror to your life. So what will you do to make your image better? Renew your mind. Thank you for tuning in up to now. I hope that we will be in a better place at the end of the year, so that we can say indeed renewing of our minds has helped us meet our goals that leads to success. So thank you. Do not forget to subscribe, share this video so that it can help someone else. Till next time, bye.